name's Tom. Today's video is going to be what does it mean to be a woodsman? I have my opinion on what I think a woodsman is and the rules that I've kind of lived by my entire life as far as being out in the woods or being out on the water. I have got a cedar thicket here behind me, and then out in front of me I have a big clearing of it's a little tiny kind of a marshy pond, but I've hiked in here today and to check out for some deer sign. As well as maybe get lucky enough, maybe find an antler or two. This is the season that you get out up here in Maine and look for that stuff, whether it be moose horns or deer antlers. So we'll see how that plays out. But as of right now, I've stopped at one of my lunch spots that you've heard me talk about in other videos. I have several lunch spots in my 2 square miles. They're all set up and waiting for me. There's usually a place to set. I'm sitting on a down tree right now. That usually plays into it, as well as scenery and what I can see, and also the warmth of the sun. So in this spot, in a cold winter's day, today's January 15th, and this morning it was about 8 below zero. And so right now, if you get out of this little cove, it's still only about 20 degrees with the wind blowing. That's in Fahrenheit. So, but what does being a woodsman mean to you? This is what it means to me. It means somebody that can go into the woods from sun up to sundown and take care of themselves, not have to rely on a cell phone to get them out of a pickle or out of a jam. It means somebody that is very comfortable in the woods, could lay down on any sunny spot and take a nap. I've been doing this stuff for 49 years. I started as a very young boy, and there's nothing I like to do more than get out and scout around and just see what's in the piece of woods that I'm choosing to hunt and stuff like that. But what I mean by it's kind of like, self-reliance. Depend on yourself. Self-rescue if you get yourself into a problem. It's being a problem solver on the spot. Especially, today's modern woodsmen, we usually employ snowmobiles and we employ 4-wheelers and 6-wheelers and stuff like that, as well as 4-wheel drive pickups and stuff that get us way back in. Nothing to be 15, 20, 30, 40 miles back in the woods off the hot top. Some of my best rabbit hunting was done 26 miles off the highway in Bingham. Bingham is a spot in Maine. Just big, huge pieces of woods. And then when you got back there 26 miles, sometimes the beagles would have a different idea. And they would take you 5 or 6, 7 miles away from your pickup. So that's what being a woodsman to me is no matter what comes up while you're out there, you can handle it. And as well as like even your diet. I've been doing this, like I said, for 49 years. I've been quite successful at it. But, again, my point here is I've been doing this for, like I said, 49 years. But 80% of my diet comes from out in the woods. And I listen to other people say, well, if things go wrong in the country and all that they're just going to go live off the land. Well, with 49 years of experience of living the lifestyle that I live, I'm only at 70 to 80% of my diet is wild game. And that's everything. That's deer, that's moose, rabbits. If it's in the Maine woods, I've probably have eaten it or tried it. And that's with all of them years of experience, and that's with a high-powered rifle or a 12-gauge shotgun. So, and that's what I mean by self-reliant. I have purposely, as well as even learning what's out there for natural tinders, so that when it comes dark, you can put yourself together a campfire and you can spend the night. With beagles, especially upcountry, that was always a possibility, because sometimes you get way back in, and do you head out with a beagle at well after dark, or do you hunker down for the evening? A lot of times it's safer if it's after dark to just hunker down and wait until morning. So that's what I mean by being self-reliant and comfortable in your surroundings. So my thought there is, if you think you're going to live off the land, you should probably, and I will bring you up country with this video camera, and I'm going to take you back out into some big country, some gorgeous country, and there's not a track to be found. There is nothing there that you could eat. So that thought of, it takes preparation, it takes planning. If you get a deer, like I try to shoot a deer in the fall. If I don't get a deer, I try for a bear. Most of the time I've got either a deer or a bear in the freezer, and that's my meat for the winter time. And then the other thing I do to supplement that is I ice fish. And I've been ice fishing since I was, same thing, about 7 years old. I think I had my first ice trap. I fish for lake trout, I fish for salmon. If it swims, I usually eat it. There's certain fish I won't eat in the summertime that I will eat in the wintertime. But that's what it means to me to be a woodsman. Some of the fish that I fish for, because it's plentiful and they're very big, and they're outside of a brook trout, they're probably the best eaten fish that this state has, and it's called a cusk. And we have lakes here that have big cusk. I usually try to catch cusks that are only in 5 pounds to 10 pound, 5 pounds and up. I usually don't keep the small ones, the 3-4 pounders. You're allowed 10 a day. And I've had days that I've come off the lake with 10 of those, 5 pounds. So that's 35, 40 pounds of fish. That's a lot of fish to bring home and put in the freezer from a freshwater lake. And it is a sweet meat. It's a really good chowder fish, if you don't know what a cusk is. And I see people that waste them, and drives me nuts. I'll be out on the lakes fishing and they look at them as a junk fish. I urge you to just throw the fish back. Don't kill it. There's people like myself that go out there and specifically target those kind of fish, because I eat them. That's part of my diet. And if you kill them and just throw them on the ice, that's like taking food off my table. So I urge you to leave them alone. Put them back in the water alive, unharmed, because there's guys that really respect that fish and really want to catch them. The reason I catch those is, number one, nobody else is fishing for them for whatever reason. I don't know. It's kind of like the bear hunting in this state. They still can't figure out why Mainers don't go bear hunting. I don't either. There's more bear in this state than there probably is deer, in my estimation, especially up in the Rustic County. But that's my idea of what a woodsman is somebody that truly can live off the grid, if had to be. And like I said, I consider myself only 70 to 80% there as far as my diet goes. And then the other thing to that is being able to build a fire anywhere, anytime, under any conditions. So that's and just plain being a good sportsman while you're out there. If you see an animal that you can help, you help it. You don't shoot an animal unless you're going to eat it. I was raised that if you're going to kill it, you're going to eat it. So, and as an adult, I've still lived that way. If I take an animal's life, I eat it. That's just the way I was raised and the way I was taught. So I think that's probably a pretty good rule for other woodsmen to live by. And, spare your resources. But if you're a young man that wants to get into this, and like I did, just stick with it. You don't ever learn it. I am 56 years old now. I'm still learning. That's why I scout. It's a big state. There's lots of things to do up here, and lots of things to learn about hunting and fishing, and being self-reliant on your abilities and your skills. I think that's what I like the most out of being a woodsman, is the ability to think outside of the box, think on the spot, and just be a problem solver. And if you're a problem solver in your regular life, I urge you to start going that way. Have some imagination. Be a problem solver, because when you're a problem solver in life, you can bring them skills with you into your adulthood or into your as you get older. They can't take skills away from you. They can't take trades away from you. So anything that you learn in regular life, you can bring out here into the woods and adapt it to this kind of a lifestyle. It's all the same. It's just one thing. Don't give up. Don't give up. You know, when you're out here in the woods and you're looking for that deer, don't give up. Don't get discouraged. Keep hunting. Hunt right up until dark. Don't be that deer hunter or that bear hunter that has to be back to the vehicle 15 minutes before it's dark. Because by doing that, you miss out on the best hunting time of the day.